Earlier this year, the Liberal government's approach to renegotiating NAFTA was getting nods of approval from across the board. It was hard to fault them then. Even before the inauguration of Donald Trump as U.S. President, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's team was getting in on the ground floor, holding meetings with the transition team, reaching out to governors, industry associations, you name it. They wanted to set the tone as early as possible, getting the facts out there on how interwoven many of our cross-border sectors truly are and scoring allies everywhere they could. It was all hands on deck. Was it a guaranteed recipe for success? No, not when dealing with a president south of the border whose entire negotiating strategy was unpredictable. But it was hard to find a major fault with the Liberal plan. When conservative leadership candidates argued during the spring that they'd do it better, they were usually at a loss to detail exactly how. That was then. Serious cracks have now emerged in the Liberal trade strategy, and not just when it comes to NAFTA. On Friday morning, Canadians awoke to reports in Australian media that Trudeau had personally sabotaged and screwed world leaders by pulling a no-show at an important Trans-Pacific Partnership deal meeting. Trudeau infuriated leaders of 10 other Asia-Pacific countries by pulling a sudden no-show for the signing of a lucrative trade deal, notes a story by the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, continuing that after a lengthy delay, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe entered the room to announce the signing was off because Mr. Trudeau would not attend. Canadian PM Justin Trudeau infuriates world leaders, embarrasses host nation, after failing to show up to a crucial meeting to salvage the TPPAPEC 2017 https://4gig67pic.twitter.com. Letwaget, The Australian at Australian November 10, 2017. Right now, Canadians don't have a clue why our PM railroaded the conclusion of this major deal. Were last-minute provisions set to seriously harm our industry? Does he suddenly want to move from multilateral to bilateral deals, like President Trump, or could he just not find the right socks for the photo op? The official word from the government is that this is somehow a step forward. We made progress today, and International Trade Minister François-Philippe Champagne is still at the negotiating table, but as we said coming in, there is no rush to conclude. Pierre-Olivier Herbert, spokesperson for Champagne, wrote to Post Media in an email. There are outstanding issues for more than one country. One of those countries is Canada. We are working hard for Canadians and Canadian jobs in important industries such as automotive, agriculture, culture, and intellectual property. Bringing up outstanding issues is one thing. Being the guy who cancels the signing ceremony is another. No other country with said issues acted like this. It's a bizarre argument that Champagne's presence somehow overrules Trudeau's reported no-show. It's like Trudeau is the new Trump, making grand disruptive gestures, and Champagne is a Rex Tillerson figure, left behind to tone it all down and pick up the pieces. If the PM is in fact standing up for Canadian industry, then good for him. We don't need to sign a deal just for the sake of it. That would be the whole going along to get along approach to international relations that former PM Stephen Harper rightly derided. Although if that was the case, you'd think we could let our partners know well ahead of time, before a signing ceremony is even penciled in. Not even Trump, who pulled out of TPP soon after his inauguration, has ever left someone standing at the altar like that so abruptly. No, what seems to be going on is defiant progressive virtue signaling. The Canadian press reported a few days ago that the Trudeau government's push for so-called progressive chapters in a revamped TPP are likely to be a tough sell among many of Canada's partners, which includes their press for the inclusion of chapters on the environment, labor rights and gender equality. Trudeau was right to bring up human rights while in Vietnam the other day, but to get these countries to sign off to his version of environmentalism and feminism is a whole different matter. It's an overreach that has little chance of success. Why risk a whole trade deal over virtue signaling? Are they really that far down the newfangled progressive rabbit hole? This isn't the first time this has happened, either. As noted above, for months the Liberal NAFTA strategy was above reproach. Then Foreign Affairs Minister Chrystia Freeland bizarrely announced environmentalism and feminism were going to be key points in the new extended talks. It took a leaked memo last month from Harper for Canadians to learn that Washington has been perplexed by a lot of Canada's recent strategy, including these red herring progressive planks. Right now, the Canadian public and many industry players keen on TPP have a whole lot more questions than there are answers. The Liberals need to clarify matters soon.